Hey everybody, it's Dr. Jamie with True Health Chiropractic. I'm so excited that you're here with us this evening. Our topic for the month of May is sleep. And oftentimes, especially with the month of May, there's more of a focus on mental health, and that absolutely does have a huge impact on your overall sleep patterns. But we focused on stress in another webinar, and so specifically tonight we're going to focus on sleep. What I want to lead into, though, for starting in June, we're going to officially be back in the clinic doing our wellness workshops on the first Tuesday of every month at 6 p.m. So officially starting June 1st, we will be back in the clinic doing these workshops. And so we're super excited to just be back in person, engaged, because we know that that really is the best way for you to be able to really receive the information for one. It's wonderful to be able to do these platforms where we can record things or share things live through Facebook and YouTube. But we really see a much better engagement. And this is about you. This is about you getting the best results, not just giving you information. We want to actually see you be able to take action. And we know that when we're in person and we can have that engagement, it just works a lot better. If you want us to continue to do recordings of the workshop, posting them to Facebook or through other platforms such as email and our YouTube channel, please let us know. We want to serve you in the capacity that's best for you in order for you to be healthy and well. That's what our mission, that's what our purpose is to serve other people. And so please let us know if you want us to continue to do recordings of the wellness workshops every month. But officially starting on June 1st, the first Tuesday of June, we will be hosting these workshops again back in our clinic in North Myrtle Beach. And so I'm going to share my screen with you, and we're going to get started with the webinar tonight. I'm going to be talking fast and going over a ton of information just to keep it short as always, because again, when we're doing the workshops live, and you're watching these on these different platforms, we've got to keep the information a little bit shorter to keep you engaged as well. So as always, if you have questions, you can drop them in the comment section below, and I encourage you to share this with other people. That is one of the awesome ways is that we can continue to reach as many people as possible around the world, around the country, with these workshops to answer questions that people have about health and wellness. So again, I'm Dr. Jamie with True Health Chiropractic and WellnessMinds.com. I'm excited that you're here with me. Give me just a second. I'm going to switch over so that you can entirely see my screen. And as I said, if you have questions or comments, you can drop them below, and you can always send us an email, which I'll be sharing with you in just a second. So the topic tonight, as I said, is sleep, and we're going to talk about cleaning up your brain. In a different aspect of, going over sleep, oftentimes we get tons of questions about what's the proper pillow, what's the proper mattress to be using. But I want to address this in a different aspect of looking at hormones, absolutely looking at things that you can be doing in your lifestyle in regards to chiropractic care, proper, posture when you're sleeping, and different supplements and nutritional aspects and exercise. But I'm going to cover something that you probably haven't heard of or don't even know even exists innately in your body, and that's the glymphatic system. So we're going to be talking about that this evening in regards to sleep and what steps you can take to really be maximizing your sleep efforts. Like I said, if you have questions, you can drop them in the comment section below. If we don't answer them during the live presentation, we'll absolutely post answers later. Even if you're watching this 5 days later, we will get notifications if you leave a comment or ask a question. As always, you can also email us as well at truehealthchiro@gmail.com. So why is sleep important? You spend about a third of your time sleeping, so it's definitely important to make sure we figure out the best aspects to get good quality sleep so that our bodies can heal and function as best as possible. This is when your body primarily does its healing in the sleep stages. It also, obviously, it digests your food. And so when your body doesn't have to be focused on the constant threats and stressors of being conscious and being awake and dealing with clients, customers, traffic, bad TV, bad news reports, whatever it is, the sleep is when you're actually allowing the body to heal. So it's important. And obviously, like I said, we spend a ton of time doing it. So sleep is important for how your nerve cells, your nervous system actually communicate with one another. Sleep affects almost every type of tissue and system in the body, from your brain, your heart, and lungs to your metabolism, how your immune system functions, your mood, and disease resistance. It also allows for the removal of toxins in the brain, which is the system that we are going to focus on a little bit later in the presentation. Sleep also allows for tissue healing and repair. And without sleep, you cannot form or maintain the pathways in your brain for learning, creating new memories, concentration, and neuromuscular responses. So with just 2 nights of bad sleep, your blood pressure and insulin can rise 20%. What if this goes on for a week? What if it goes on for a year or even longer? Sleep deprivation is a billion-dollar problem and causes numerous diseases and accidents. 80,000 plus car accidents a day are linked to a lack of sleep. But it's also the other things that you don't realize, that your lack of sleep is creating chaos in your health and wellness. Weight gain, accelerated aging, wrinkles, increased stress levels. Absolutely all of these things can be impacted by a lack of sleep or a lack of quality of sleep. So how much sleep do you really need? Quality and quantity are both important. Most research shows that you need anywhere between 7 to 9 hours of high quality sleep. After the age of 60, your nighttime sleep tends to be shorter, lighter, and it can be interrupted by multiple awakenings. Some medications also interrupt sleep. So you need to be aware, if you take multiple medications, this could also be interrupting your sleep patterns, your hormone levels, your thyroid function, adrenal function, and many other systems in the body. Research shows that a chronic lack of sleep or getting poor cardiovascular disease overall, diabetes, depression, and obesity. So you've probably heard of circadian rhythms, and these are the processes that operate on a 24-hour cycle and determine when you feel tired or when you feel alert. And you need Zeigenberg's, I'm sure I'm brutal when I say that. I don't even know if I'm pronouncing it correctly, but you need Zeigenberg's, which are cues basically that help you set your internal bodily clock, literally just like the sun. So examples that you can use as Zeitenbergs, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, are exercise, your meals that we'll talk about shortly, and the more Zeitenbergs that you expose yourself, the more synchronized your sleep will be. So it's like creating a pattern. 24-hour cycle, just like the sun. And so the more cues we have that it's time to rest, that it's time to relax, that it's time to start closing our eyes, getting in bed, preparing for sleep, the more you will see and the more consistent you will see not just your sleep cycle, but the quality of sleep that you actually get. So there are things you can do just with the environment that we'll talk about, the lighting and blocking blue light, black light curtains, keeping the temperature in your room at a certain degree. So all of these things are going to better create these Zeigenbergs so that you can expose yourself to create more synchronization in your sleep. So you can create a pattern. So step 1 to a better night's sleep is actually literally to set a schedule. Go to bed and wake up at the same time each day. We oftentimes hear this, especially when people retire, right? That they're so used to what they were doing from the 9 to 5. They knew they had to wake up at a certain time to get ready and prepare for their work schedule, their day, their children, whatever it might be. And you really need to be doing that same thing. That's why oftentimes people, when they go into retirement, they have such a hard time with their sleep patterns and schedules. And it's not just because you're getting old, okay? It's because you're used and you've created a pattern. And when you do something different, it takes time for your nervous system and neurology to actually learn a different pattern or process. So actually setting a schedule, go to bed and wake up at the same time each day. Step 2 is going to be regular exercise. Yes, you've got to move. Movement is life. And this is a part of not just your joints feeling better and being healthier, but overall, every single process in your body thrives from you receiving oxygen. And that is the whole point of exercise. It's been shown that regular exercise, anywhere from 20 to 30 minutes a day, will appropriately raise your levels of cortisol and adrenaline in the body. This appropriate trigger of these two hormones in particular allow you to better be prepared in times of real stress. So it's important to realize, though, that because exercise naturally raises cortisol and adrenaline, you don't want to exercise 3 to 4 hours before you go to bed. So this is why oftentimes if people do an evening exercise class or routine, they have a very hard time going to sleep because they've jacked up their cortisol levels. So it is best. There's a lot of research that shows that exercising in the morning actually helps to balance some of these hormones and really just get your day started off right. But sometimes people can't do that given their schedules, if they have children or whatever it might be. So even that midday exercise is fine, but you do not want to exercise anywhere between 3 and 4 hours of when you would typically be going to bed, again, because of these hormones, adrenaline and cortisol. You also want to avoid caffeine and alcohol. These will trigger a rise in cortisol, again, which is a stress hormone. The whole purpose you have cortisol is, right, to prepare you for times of stress. It's a good thing, but not when it's being fired incorrectly at an inappropriate time. So again, it is a stress hormone that makes you more alert, and it's going to be able to prepare the body to handle a spiking in the middle of the night when we're trying to sleep. And this is oftentimes what may be going on when we hear of people, they're waking up at midnight, 1, 2, 3 a.m. in the morning, and they can't go back to sleep for hours. They're wired. They're awake and they're alert. Your cortisol may be spiking at inappropriate times. There are things we can do to actually balance cortisol. This isn't just about taking sleep medication, guys. It's not just about covering up your symptoms. Let's identify what the real root cause is so that we can treat these things appropriately, but mostly so that we can get the body functioning as ideal, which is at 100%. So again, cortisol is the primary stress hormone produced by your adrenal system, and it's responsible for many important tasks: maintaining your sleep schedule, signaling when you feel hungry or full, deciding your mood, and determining whether you're going to burn fat or you're going to build muscle. So cortisol should be low when we sleep, and it is highest in the morning, right? Just kind of think of the natural, right? It makes you more alert. So it makes sense. It should be higher in the morning when you should naturally be waking when the sun is coming up. People that work night shift oftentimes have really just difficult issues with hormone imbalances because the world, just naturally, that's the sleep cycle. You wake up when the sun comes up and you go to bed when it gets dark. And so oftentimes we see that you do have imbalances, especially if you're working night shift, because again, it can really mess with the hormone imbalances. But again, cortisol should be low when you sleep and high in the morning. It should gradually decrease throughout the day, and it should be lowest right before you go to bed. If your cortisol levels do not decrease in the evening because the stress response is triggered, it can lead to real issues. Initially, you're probably going to feel wired but tired because your cortisol has increased to actually help you deal with stress. Sometimes you're aware this is happening, and sometimes you have no idea that you're stressed and your cortisol is going up. And this could be because your body is responding to a physical stress such as leaky gut, or even inflammation coming from various organs or tissues in the body. When our stress response is triggered too frequently, it's less able to turn itself off and is therefore more likely to get stuck in this imbalanced state. So high cortisol can cause anything from increased pain, depression and anxiety, fatigue, high blood pressure, weight gain, and a weak immune system. So it is very important that we actually address what the real issue is that's going on. What gets complex is that this oftentimes is not just a cortisol issue. It's not just your adrenal glands. It's not just your thyroid. It's a complex system that runs behind the scenes. It also can be nervous system imbalance and toxicity that we're going to talk about in just a second. Step 4 is your environment. If you can find a self-cooling weighted blanket, this can reduce anxiety and temperature imbalances. Your room temperature, it should be kept cool. Think cave-like darkness. A dark, cool place is where the body thrives for its sleep. And so anywhere between 60 to 72 degrees Fahrenheit. Blackout curtains. Your room should be completely cave-like dark. Keep your room clean. Keep it free of clutter, chaos. These things subconsciously create anxiety. Even if you don't realize what's going on, have a room that you can't even hardly walk through. You got to create a little pathway to get through your dirty laundry or your furniture to get to the bathroom. You've got to that because it creates a stressful state in the body. Use warm light bulbs and blue blocking light glasses that you can find anywhere on Amazon at this point. These are really important because blue light actually blocks the production of melatonin by up to 60%. And this comes from cell phones, TVs, tablets, basically all forms of electronics give off blue light. Certain electronics, if you go into your settings, you'll see that you can actually change the blue light settings so that it's more of an orange light or a dim light at certain times of the day. I know that certain Amazon devices, I don't know about every single type of device, but this can be sometimes found. There may even, at this point, I haven't really researched this a lot, but there could even be apps that are out now that you can even download that will actually adjust the light setting on your phone or your tablet. And so what you want to do is that preferably about 2 to 3 hours before you go to bed, you want to actually be blocking and kind of shutting off that blue light. So wearing blue block glasses, they look basically like little sunglasses, and so that'll block the light, especially if you watch television in the evening. If you're on an iPad reading a book, whatever it might be, it's going to help block that blue light so that your melatonin production coming from the brain is actually again, this is all about balance and it's about synchronization. And so we don't want to create long-term stress patterns because that's the problem, is that the longer the pattern goes on, it's harder to actually correct in the long run. Step 5 is going to be supplements. And some key supplements for inflammation, relaxation, the brain, your nervous system are healthy fats, which are omegas, your fish oils, and magnesium. So both of these, what we typically find, because again, classically the diet is so messed up, we're still being told all the time, low fat, low calorie diets. And so most people are not getting what they need in fat. And that's why this is the #1 missing ingredient in a standard American diet. You absolutely need omegas. You need healthy fats in order for your brain and your nervous system to thrive. This is also a huge component, though, for your immune system, reducing inflammation, fighting infection, supporting hormones, memory, and mood. It's absolutely crucial. The second is magnesium. Magnesium is involved in over 200 physiological processes in your body. It is linked with your sleep. It is linked with digestion, your joint health, your heart health, your brain health, and the list goes on and on and on. This is something that absolutely almost 80% of the population is completely depleted in because, again, our diet is so out of whack. But then if you take medications, a ton of medications, cardiovascular medications, cholesterol drugs, antidepressants, many of these medications actually rip your body and starve it of magnesium, where you're not actually utilizing the magnesium. It's actually being depleted. And so again, you need to be aware of the fact that sometimes when you take medications, it's actually starving your body and blocking the production of other vitamins and minerals so that they can't even do the job that they're supposed to be doing. And so oftentimes, that's why a supplement is a supplement. You need to be taking these things because they are absolutely vital in overall how the body's actually going to be able to heal and function and repair. Magnesium, what we typically find is that it does absolutely calm your nervous system. So it absolutely helps with pain. It helps with muscle spasms and cramping and restless leg syndrome. But it also helps to reduce anxiety, depression, and aids in digestion and can help your sleep pattern because, again, it directly calms your nervous system. And the last is a detox system. These are all supplements that we carry in the clinic specifically, and there's a reason why. For one, obviously, if you haven't figured it out, these tend to be the ones that are linked with almost every single thing that we could talk about, whether it's weight loss, detox, sleep, stress, anxiety. I could go on and on. But what's so amazing about your body is that it has an entire system called the lymphatic system that literally helps your brain they're all just an adrenal gland. It oftentimes is not. The other thing, though, that can keep you awake at night or wake you up at night, which is going to also lead to adrenal issues and thyroid dysfunction and cortisol imbalances, but the fact that you could be highly toxic. What's interesting is that heavy metals, especially like aluminum and different things, the brain has this innate system that actually literally helps it cleanse itself. It's called the glymphatic system, and literally what your brain does and your central nervous system as it cleanses and detoxifies your cerebral spinal fluid. Okay, so what's so cool about that, besides the fact of what I just even said sounds amazing? Cerebral spinal fluid is what lubricates your spinal cord, nerve tissue, and brain, if you want to think of it that way. It's also a protective fluid, right, that keeps harmful things from entering your brain tissue. And what we see in a person, especially with Alzheimer's, because they've developed plaques in this system, is that it inhibits their brain from being able to actually detoxify and cleanse itself primarily from heavy metals. So it is crucial in the world that we live in to absolutely make sure we are boosting our immune system, creating a healthy nervous system, and overall giving the body the nutrients and the things it needs in order to be able to combat the constant bombardment of toxins that we have every single day. Our detox system is a two separate supplement bottle system, if you want to think of it that way, that initially targets the actual cell to cleanse the cell and then give the cell what it needs to actually heal and repair. It's loaded with antioxidants. It is loaded with glycine and glutamine and the precursors to glutathione, which is the master antioxidant, and it literally helps your body detoxify itself. Most importantly, the brain. And if anything is most important for sleep, it is that your brain has the capability to be able to heal and repair due to the toxins, the stress, the anxiety that we're all experiencing on a day-to-day level. These are the three things that I recommend supplement-wise if it comes to when we talk about sleep. Absolutely, having proper posture and having a good pillow and a good mattress. These are all support systems that we need. But oftentimes it's the other things that we don't even realize that are going on, that our detoxification system, that things are bogged down, not allowing us to actually get that proper sleep. And again, most importantly, good quality sleep. So these are the three supplements that I would highly recommend. And again, the glymphatic system is so amazing just in its fact of how it actually is cleansing the brain. The seventh step is keeping your spine and nervous system balanced. Sleep promoting cells are located within, and your brain stem is specifically housed and protected by the upper cervical vertebra, so by the upper part of your neck, basically. The cells produce a chemical called GABA, and this actually allows your mind to relax and helps you fall asleep. Your brain stem also plays a special role in REM sleep and signals muscles to relax, which are essential for your body posture, limb movements, so that we don't act out essentially in our dreams. That is the purpose of these signals. The pineal gland increases your production of melatonin, which helps put you to sleep once your lights go down. And scientists believe that the peaks and valleys of melatonin over time are important for matching the body's circadian rhythm to the external cycle of light and darkness. What's so fascinating about chiropractic care is that, again, we talk about this all the time. If you are a patient under chiropractic care, when you receive an adjustment, it has a direct impact literally to your nervous system. The hormones that you release, how your immune system functions. These are all things that the moment you receive a chiropractic adjustment, what you might think is because your neck is hurting that day or your head is hurting or your low back or your hips are hurting. What's so amazing to realize is that the impact of the vertebrae themselves when they are adjusted and realigned has a direct impact literally on how your nervous system and your brain function. And this is the most amazing part. And this is why what we see time and time again is people are being adjusted and they're under more of a corrective or wellness model of chiropractic care beyond just treating their headache or treating their neck pain. Literally, we hear this time and time again. Hey, doc, I'm sleeping better. I've got more energy than I've ever had. I'm losing weight. The brain fog is lifting. I can think clearer. I can focus more. without even changing any of the other things that I talked about, taking supplements or nutrition. Can you imagine, though, by doing the foundational thing of a chiropractic adjustment and having a direct impact on your nervous system and overall how your body functions, then adding those other things? That's what's so amazing about it. That's why we do these, is to bring you this information, not just to bring you good information. The whole point is that you take action and you choose one thing that's going to keep driving you in the direction of being truly healthy and being truly well. And so again, it's important. It's important to stay on track with your adjustments. It's important to realize, again, the power that the body has. It has the ability to heal itself. And so when we talk about this, right, it's about turning your power on. Because if you think about it, what controls all function, what controls all healing, what controls your immune system, your sleep patterns, your circadian rhythms, your cardiovascular health, your digestive health? Absolutely, it's your nervous system. And you can go a month without food, days without water, minutes without air, but you can't go a single second without nerve supply. Okay, and that's why it's so important to keep this system balanced, keep it operating, keep it functional. Absolutely. Once we start removing the interference in the spinal column and in the nervous system, then we're going to give it the other things that we can through nutrition, through exercise, through supplementation. And so this is the key to different sleep disturbances, quality of sleep, quantity of sleep. Focus on a bare minimum. We've got to focus on making sure the nervous system is functioning properly, making sure our spine is in proper alignment. Essentially, if you only at a basic level want to think of it as posture, as you sleep, it's very important, and your spine is working for you. And then key supplements. Other supplements I didn't cover at a bare minimum. You need to be taking a good quality multivitamin and mineral complex that has B vitamins in it, because again, your B vitamins are essential to how your nervous system actually functions and how it heals. And then there's a sleep drink, as I like to call it, that I wanted to share with everybody. And you can actually take your magnesium, if you take the magnesium from our office, but even to a form of magnesium powder, but you can do the same thing with our capsules. You can open them up. You're going to put them in a glass of water and then squeeze, some vitamin C essentially. So lemon, lime, some, half of an orange, whatever you like. Squeeze that into the glass. And so essentially what you're doing, and if you have vitamin C powder, you can do that instead of from about 200 to 400 milligrams of magnesium. Then you're going to do about 2,000 micrograms of vitamin C, and then also add a half teaspoon of sea salt. And when I say sea salt, I'm talking about the true pink Himalayan sea salt or the dirty Celtic gray sea salt. This is loaded with tons of minerals, things that are key, again, for your nervous system and most importantly, right, your sleep patterns. And so this can be your kind of like bedtime relaxation drink. You can warm up the water a little bit, like I said, to actually for it to be more soothing and more relaxing. And so that is a great bedtime drink to do to just help the body actually calm down so that you can go into that sleep pattern better prepared so that the body can do its best healing. As always, like I said, and I just wanted a quick reminder about this, our upcoming events. So all our wellness workshops, they are going to officially be held on the first Tuesday from now on. That was something we officially kicked off starting in January. But so the first Tuesday of every month at 6 p.m., we'll be doing our wellness workshops. And officially starting in June, we will be back holding these workshops live in our clinic in North Myrtle Beach. Like I said, though, if you want us to continue posting replays or recordings, whatever you guys need, please let us know. The more engaged that you are, it helps us better serve you, and that's what we're here to do, like I said. I hope you have a wonderful evening. Continue to ask your questions, drop your comments. You can email us as well. I hope that everybody has a blessed and wonderful day, and remember, being at the workshop tonight, watching this. And so again, we thank you, we love you, and we are here to serve you, and we look forward to seeing you soon.